name is Kit.
I'm Hatter.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, streaming The Penguin. We're back with episode 4, Centani.
Centani. You have to go find the Centani stones.
The Centani stones.
They're like the Silmarils. We're not Italian, so don't bother commenting about mispronunciations or anything like that. We're doing our best.
Yeah.
We're trying.
We can't even say English words.
No. I
Like
mean, how?
wolf. Did I nail it that time, though?
I think you did. I heard
I've been
an L
working
in
on
there.
it.
I heard an L in there.
Anyway, we're not going to get in that rabbit hole again.
Centani.
This is the first time we're recording since we recorded the live show, which was a week ago.
Yeah.
We'll probably have a whole after hours discussing how that went on the Patreon this week.
Mm-hmm. And also stay tuned on the main show. Wednesday is when the live show will hit the main feed. So if you want more Rings of Power, you want Streaming Things live, it'll be there on Wednesday.
You'll get one of those things by watching the live show. A tiny bit of Lord of the Rings.
A little bit.
Be sure to watch the video version of that, probably. I think that's a lot more rewarding.
Yeah, usually we don't tell people watch the video version because it is a podcast first and foremost. But when you're doing a live show, there's a lot of video elements to it. So or visual elements, I should say. Mm-hmm. So the video version of the live show is the preferred method of watching it. So if you want to watch it, please do.
Yeah, if you're curious how that went, I am as well. Kind of blacked out. So that'll drop on Wednesday.
You're going to be like, oh no, what did I say?
But I brought that up to say we're a little rusty. We're a little tired. A lot of the equipment in the studio is mysteriously not working.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks since we touched it.
Yeah.
But
we spent the last 40 minutes trying to get everything working. It's no big deal.
We'll do what we can.
I'm not growing gray hairs as we speak in real time.
Luckily, I'm a genius.
Yeah.
And I have set the bar so low that the audience is like, I don't notice anything amiss at all.
Still looks to the same hot garbage it always does.
Yeah. But, Game of Thrones coverage is still going strong on Patreon. Rings of Power is now over. So this is strictly a Peenween podcast right now.
Peenween.
I think the popularity of the Peenween is picking up.
Oh, definitely.
I think the show, because it felt like even though the show's numbers were being, reported as very strong as far as viewership, that the conversation wasn't
happening.
Yeah, prestige show level. And I was confused by that because the show's so fucking good. Yeah. And I saw it so early that I was like, maybe I'm crazy and only I love it. But now it's week 3, I'm seeing a lot of viral tweets about how good the performances are. And hopefully people are watching the damn show because it's so damn good.
Watch the damn thing.
Watch the Penguin.
Well, we're preaching to the choir on our episode 4 of the Penguin podcast. Yeah. Watch the Penguin, guys.
Come on.
Please. It's so good.
I guess I will.
The pod will make more sense now. Slightly. But yeah, I think so. That's good. That's good. We're on episode 4 now. I have still restrained myself from watching further episodes, even though I can.
It's hard. It's hard. It really is hard.
Look me in the eye.
I am honest. I am restrained. It's been so hard.
I can confirm he hasn't because we share the same account. So I would know if he watched it.
Yeah.
That's true.
So what I do is I just stop it and literally rewind it all the way back to the beginning and just rewatch the same episode.
Yeah, that's the move. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, you guys can keep each other honest, but I'm over here oh man. Well, I'm actually, this is 100% the truth, a piece of shit. And I'm just too busy to watch more Penguin, or
you would have.
I totally would. I've watched probably 52 movies already in October, I think.
Jesus.
Because I'm doing the October horror gauntlet. Yeah. One a day, plus all the new releases I have to do reviews of. I'm watching multiple TV, the Alfonso Cuarón TV show Disclaimer just came out, so I watched all those episodes. You know what I mean? I just don't have time to watch ahead in Penguin, or I totally would.
I mean, honestly, last night I was
tempted.
Hey, why don't we watch episode 5?
You were Galadriel in Lord of the Rings.
You offer it to me freely. But unfortunately, Erica is here to keep me honest. She's like, you can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're right, girl. I can't.
Yeah, because then our theorizing is polluted, Mm-hmm. Hatter says a theory, and I'm over here I disagree.
Well, the theory I had last week is going to blown out the window.
Well, somewhat.
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat. You had the motivations wrong.
I did.
But you were there. This was an important episode. Yes. Things heated up a lot. We found it was a flashback episode to Sofia's time at Arkham. And we got to find out the relationship dynamics between her and Oz, her and Alberto, a lot of the family. Like, things were really revealed.
We got to see Carmine in a flashback.
Yeah.
Falcone.
We did. Mark Strong. So what we're going to do is talk about our overall thoughts about episode 4 and then talk about a scene-by-scene, play-by-play recap. And then we'll have a few fun segments at the end, of course. Our Slush Puppies segment, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode. Our Drops segment, where we pinpoint some Easter eggs, most likely it's a Batman lore. And then our Kingpin nomination. Our favorite,
or Pussy Boy, if you're nasty.
Boy.
Sure. Our favorite performance of the episode. That's what we're going to do here. Hatter, I am curious. What did you think of episode 4, Gentani?
Well, it was
Dominic DeCocco. Sorry.
It was powerful. It really was. It went into, like you said, Sophia's history, and it went into explaining why she is the way she is now. And a little bit of what she was prior to Arkham. And it is dealing with mental health and what they used to do back in the day, sending people to hospitals and all. And it just shows.
Send them to Arkham.
Yes, sending them to Arkham. Yeah, sending them to mental hospitals. Because it's like, there's a little truth behind that. I know it's a fictional show, but with all the history we have, that stuff actually happened to people. And sometimes, I hope, pray to God that it doesn't happen still like that, but you just don't know in this day and age, because where the world is. But it was an amazing episode, and Kristen Milioti was perfect. She was amazing in it, and it's just, I don't know. It was so powerful, and it's sad to me as well, but it had a really, really amazing ending too. So.
Things are cooking. Yeah. Steve?
Let them cook. No, this was a really great episode. Amazing display of like what flashbacks can do for a television series. It was incredibly tense. Like, there was almost no scene where I was just like not on the edge of my seat. Like, oh my God, something terrible is going to happen. It's going to explode at any moment. And just make this episode made me love. I already love Sofia.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
But it just made me love her even more, to the point where I'm like, why are we even calling this show the Peenween? We should be calling it Sofia, the Queenween, right?
Because we can workshop that.
Maybe Queenween's not the best, but she is so fucking good. And there's that gif from Brooklyn Nine-Nine where Diaz is holding the puppy, like, if anything happens to him, I will kill everyone and then myself. Like, that's how I feel about Sofia. Like, I want to protect her at all costs. I love her so much. She is such a star. And this show like really scratches my own personal like sense of morality, like, and belief systems, like in a very nice way, and in surprising ways. Like, there's this vision of, there's this thing that happens in the world where someone will demonize either another person or groups of people, and it's unwarranted, just for whatever reason, whether it's racism, homophobia, gender issues, classism, all these things. Like, people are othered by those in power, and they keep dehumanizing them and dehumanizing them and dehumanizing them. And then when that person or those people like snap and rise up and do something that might be violent and justified, the people in power are like, oh, look at these monsters. And it's just kind of this self-fulfilling prophecy. And this episode does a great job of like, here's this woman who is just thrown into this horrible situation, and everyone gave up on her and turned their backs on her. And then when she comes back into society, instead of like welcoming her and trying to help her and support her, they still like, well, she's crazy. Yeah. That's a crazy person. And it's just like, oh, you want crazy? Yeah. I'll fucking give it to you. Like, and it's just kind of like, yeah, that, of course, there is no other way this would happen if you're going to treat someone like that.
Exactly.
And goddamn, it was great. And Kristen Milioti is just the best thing to happen to TV ever. I love her so goddamn much.
I agree.
Kit, what are your thoughts?
No, I'm increasingly floored by how good this show is. You know, I expected to be in love with it because I love the movie The Batman so much, and I love the character of Batman and its universe so much that you really couldn't miss. You know what I mean? It's like fucking throwing a ball of mud at a fucking wall, and it was gonna stick no matter what. But this is so good, and is 90% of it is Kristen Milioti, who was a casting choice that I was all for. I was a big fan of the show Made for You, which not a lot of people watched, but Kristen Milioti is amazing, and she's been in a ton of awesome movies.
I forgot she was the sexy baby in 30 Rock.
Never watched 30 Rock, but I hate that character name.
Well, she's supposed to be an actress. Like, I'm just a sexy baby, and I'd forgotten that was her, and that clip started making the rounds because people are starting to appreciate her more and more because of the show. And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I remember her as that character. Hell yeah, I love her."
But this episode in particular, I was not. I should have been, but I was not expecting a flashback episode because, and it's such a great idea because we leave off at the end of episode 3 with this holy shit kind of where are we going to go from here for 5 more episodes or whatever it is? And they're like, we're not going to go anywhere, motherfucker. We're going to go back and leave you hanging another week.
We have to go back.
But what we get is so much illumination on the mental state of Sofia Falcone and the tragedy that is her story and why she's so unhinged seeming and angry. Because she was an incredibly sweet woman. A philanthropist, campaigning for women's mental health because she thought her mother committed suicide. And we also see the true dark roots of what Carmine Falcone did to her, why she's so angry at Oz, right? But also a little bit about Oz's origins. There's a moment where she's really shitty to him, even though he's genuinely trying to help. And she's like, nobody gives a fuck about Europe, but just fucking drive the car, dork, And everybody's like, get away, penguin, So we kind of see why he would be quick to betray her to bolster his own life and how that's justified. And
because no one ever cared about him either. So he's like, you don't care about me. I'm not really care about you.
And we'll talk about that scene, but that's such a great layering of those two characters. Because there's also little instances where you could see why they were buddies.
Yeah, they were really chummy.
They were a great team together.
Want a cigarette? Hey, leave it alone. She don't want to talk to you.
Even when you're doing good, sometimes people just get on your nerves.
I get it.
Yeah. I got your Newports.
I got your Newport. Menthol, baby.
I got a whole bucket of olives. We're going to go to town. All right.
That's all we need, cigarettes and olives. All of those things.
But
I cried probably 3 times during this episode, and it's 100% Kristen Milioti. There's a moment when she first gets to Arkham and she's just so this isn't real, And again, a lot of people that have been listening to the show for a long time know that I have a past of drug addiction. I've been sober a long time, but I have been to jail. And I just wanted to say there's a moment when you first get there and you're still deep in your core, the 12-year-old who just wants to play with Ninja Turtles. And when that door closes for the first time, I hate to say it, but after a few weeks, it's just the new normal. But when that door first closes, you know what I mean? And the lights dim a little bit and you hear all the, give me the fucking corn, pussy boy, all the shouting in the background. And we're like, what is going on? And you stare around that little fucking shitty room and you're looking at all the rust spots and the doo-doo and the metal toilet and the tiny bit of water and the fucking water fountain that's attached to the toilet. Oh, fuck, it's dark, right?
Jeez.
And I just felt that in such a visceral way when Sophia's looking around this isn't real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, and it's worse for her because she literally didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
And she's used to a lot more luxury than I was. So it's compounded.
I can't go to vacation in Italy in this.
Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't have a water fountain on a toilet, but everything else was pretty similar to my house. But including the guy yelling about the corn
and the dude.
Dad. But yeah, I was just this is profound. You know what I mean? And there's a lot more layers to this that 3 men can't speak on too, but we'll do our best. But yeah, I'm floored by this, the depth of this show. I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm so fucking in, and I'm excited to talk about episode 4. Cent'anni. Gorlami.
Gorlami.
Arrivederci. We get this other point of view. That's how the episode starts, of what happened with the Maroney gang kind of laying down Sofia and Oz, right? Like we get the rest of what we did not see while we were in Victor's point of view in episode 3. And it's Nadia. Because we were like, oh, he left Sofia. That's fucking crazy. But now we get why.
Yeah.
He's completely outed for murdering her brother, for working with the Maronis, for going to Blackgate, right? Nadia spilled the beans on all that. So he can't let Sofia live. Like
this was, were you kind of thrown off by this beginning? Because I was thrown off a little bit.
As in what way?
Yeah.
Well, I thought they were doing like an HBO previously on, like previously on thing.
It just hopped right in.
And it's like, so it almost seemed like a previously on, but then it like kept going. And I'm like, wait, it started
This is currently
already?
on. This is currently on.
This is previously in the back of my mind because we're now here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop a little bit.
No, because I'm like, smarter and stuff. So I was like,
No, I just fucking knew it was on. Like, goddamn, Steve. It's not. It says recap when it's a recap. Come on, fuck on.
The titles were up. Yeah.
And then Vic shows up, of course, runs over one of the Maronis. And we get Sofia's point of view as she's left there, and she calls Dr. Julian Rush, who we've seen in one other episode. She has this weird semi-romantic relationship with her psychiatrist.
Yeah, Shades, I need you.
Use your powers or whatever it is you do.
Look cool.
Yeah, bring the shades. Her dad has the shades now.
Yeah, he does.
Then we get a flashback after this to Sofia speaking at the Isabella Falcone Foundation. We alluded to this in the opening. Her mother, Isabella Falcone, had committed suicide, she thought. And so she started this nonprofit organization to help
depression.
Yeah, women's mental health issues, right? So she's at this public event speaking, like third or fourth one in successive weeks, because she had said that she's been campaigning for this a lot.
Big rollout.
And this is when Oz was her driver.
Yeah.
So he's like a dorkier version of Oz Cobb. Hey, Sofia.
Wearing a tux, wearing that suit, the black and white suit.
Yeah.
Black and white suit. He's got a little bit fuller head of hair.
Yeah.
Definitely dyed.
Definitely.
I got my eye on a purple Maserati. What do you think about that?
It's plum, actually.
Oh, yeah. I've been looking at it.
Do you know the different types of purple? They got plum. They got purple. They got, I don't know, a chartreuse thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magenta.
Oh, that's kind of like a reddish
I've
purple.
been watching a lot of Blue's Clues.
Speaking of which, this guy's Steve. Like that guy.
Yeah.
Do you think I can pull a sweater like that guy, Steve?
No.
The green stripes?
Yeah, you're right. It's too much.
It should be more horizontal. It's thinning.
Anyway, speaking of which, you got a letter. That's a male joke. Here's a mail. No, never mind.
Here's a mail it never
Thank you,
fails.
Steve. You forsook your namesake.
But I do like how she, he's trying to help her out. Where he's like, even when you're helping people, you still got to eat shit. And she kind of tells him like, hey man, you deserve better too. You drive me around like you kind of have a shit job too, but at least you have a dick and you're eligible for a promotion.
Oh my
because
God,
of
that line
dick.
was so great.
He's like, I do.
Meh.
I mean, it's not the best dick,
Nah.
but at least I got one.
Listen, I'm just happy they call me the penguin and not penguin. It could have been that. Just saying. If people knew. Oz, if people knew.
Kickstand.
People think I got a cane.
Look, Sophia, look. I lean forward. I ain't got to help. No hands. No hands.
I'm like a magician.
They should call me the hangman.
And she- Anyway, that's what you get here at Streaming Thing. She's approached by a reporter, Summer Gleason, who mentions that there's a bunch of suspicious hangings, including most recently a woman named Yolanda Jones. All of these women work at the 44 Below, which is like the secret club, if you remember from the movie, beneath the Iceberg Lounge, right? It's where like a Catwoman is able to wear like the contact lens camera, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, Sophia's a little suspicious about that and intrigued, but she's like, she snaps back to her senses. Wait, you're a fucking reporter? I can't talk to you, right?
Yeah.
Can't talk. No, don't talk to press.
Hey, she doesn't want to talk to you.
Number one rule.
Yeah. Oz pulls up and saves the day there a little bit.
Yeah.
He does nothing, actually. He's just a man.
The reporter does have some tact. Like, oh, that's some great work you're doing out there. You could do more, though.
Yeah.
You could save these women from being murdered.
Yeah, he's like, she goes, it's just weird that all these women have been dying hanging just like your mother did when you were 9. And she's like, oh, you're gonna toss that one in there? That's a little shiv to the side right there.
Damn, girl.
I know, like, well, yeah, you're hinting right there, like, oh, your mother may not have committed suicide at that point.
Yeah, Sophia's visibly shaken, but does get in the car. And then we get a deeper flashback. It's sort of like a Christopher Nolan's Inception moment.
We have to go deeper.
Oh, yeah, we do. And then Ken Watanabe pops out. No, he's not there. I wish he was there. But
I'm an old man.
And it's Sofia when she was 9. She's looking for Alberto. They're playing hide and seek or something. And she finds her mother hanging by a rope in the bedroom. Traumatizing, right?
And then Carmine walks in. Was it at this part or
No,
when he
that's later.
I love when he walks in though and he's like, "Oh no,
Oh no, Sophia, you should have
what
seen that.
happened?
Yeah.
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
look at that. Darn, who
Keep my-
put that there?"
Don't touch my Ray-Bans though, Sophia.
No,
I
seriously,
know.
don't touch
Daddy.
my hands.
These are blue light glasses. I've been gaming. When at this time it was probably WoW. We can all agree.
Yeah.
But anyway, then we see
Carmine, I fight the Horde for 20 minutes and this happened.
He's Leroy Jenkins. Leroy Jenkins. But yeah, so then we see Carmine Falcone, whom we haven't seen since the Batman movie, played by Mark Strong, because he's dead. And Alberto is a fool. We see more of that dynamic.
Yeah.
Another huge bit of information we get in this episode is that he wanted Sofia to run the family. That was actually Carmine's wish. So this is not, that's why people get under her skin about pushing her aside as far as family business, because Carmine wanted her to take the reins.
Yeah.
She was the most capable heir to the throne. Alberto was a dork. He was always drinking and banging and running around town doing drugs. He's like snorting blow at the table, like looking at memes.
Yeah.
I know what?
Dad, have you seen this?
Have
you seen this hippo?
right. That thing.
They call it Mudang, I think. Oh yeah, the information. Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
There's a big ass penguin named Pesto. Oh shit, Dad, look at this thing. It's huge.
Anyway,
He's a big boy like me.
what are you talking about, son? Why can't you be like your sister?
How do you
She doesn't
how
get
do
the
you
memes.
like Mark Strong? How do you like the recasting of Carmine with Mark Strong?
I think he's doing great.
Yeah, I think so
Mark
too.
Strong is always a debonair deviant.
Yes.
It's pretty much typecast in that, and he does it well.
Yeah, I mean, I was introduced to him in Sherlock as Sherlock Holmes. 2009, by the way, in case you guys were wondering.
The BBC show with Benedict Cumberbatch.
No, Sherlock Holmes. He was the villain in Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, the
first
Guy
one.
Ritchie one.
Yes, the Guy Ritchie one.
The
One of my favorite movies.
The original
Right.
Sherlock
Yeah.
Holmes.
So him playing that evil character is like, I don't know. He has the face for it. He has the demeanor for it.
Yeah.
And he is terrifying. Literally comes on screen. You're like, I just shit my pants a little bit, but it's fine. I'll go to clean them.
I've never seen a man more terrifying wearing Ray-Bans.
I wonder. And a wig.
A wig and a mustache, just like, I'll fucking kill you. Like, it's Tuesday for me.
Why couldn't they get John Turturro, you think?
I don't know. I assume it was probably like a scheduling thing, or maybe John Turturro's like, I don't do TV.
He does, though. He was the star of another HBO show that's really good, The Night of, with Riz Ahmed. You should watch
Yeah.
it. He plays the, what are those
just
what are those
scheduling
fancy
conflicts.
sandal shoes called?
Mandals?
No. Birkenstocks?
Birkenstocks?
maybe?
Oh, Birkenstocks.
Yeah, he wears like Birkenstocks, but in a suit on the subway, and that's a good show. Anyway, The Night of, shout out. But yes, scheduling conflict, that sucks. John Turturro's fucking awesome. But Mark Strong's a good,
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
you're going
he's-
to bring somebody in.
I mean, honestly, like, I feel like he slips into it so easily. Like, if you, I mean, obviously, John Turturro and Mark Strong look different physically, but the vibes are 100% the same.
If anything, a little more menacing.
Yeah, he's
at
more
times,
menacing.
I would think, because he's more of a villain.
Yeah, it's true. Mark
I mean,
Strong
Turturro's an incredible actor. I'm just saying. Mark Strong's scarier.
yeah,
I want to hug John Turturro at all times.
me too.
To just think about him and
Just the butler from Mr. Deeds.
I'm very, very sneaky, sir.
or Jesus the bowler.
He don't fuck with the Jesus.
Anyway, I like the recast, but Carmine is uncomfortable when she brings up her mother. She's already thinking about what Summer Gleason has her thinking about, right? So she brings up, I've been thinking about mom. I don't remember her being sick, right? And Why are you picking away at old wounds? Right? Just change the subject to dinner immediately.
Upsets me.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I tried to help her. I tried to help her. But
She was a very proud woman.
Yes, very proud woman. I tried to help her. She didn't want my help. She didn't try to go for my help. And then, but there's an underlying thing like, I killed her.
That's why he wears the Ray-Bans, because his eyes are just screaming.
I know. And I'm gonna do you if you don't shut the fuck up.
They also said in a previous episode that Sofia has always had a nose for sniffing out bullshit, and we see it a few times in this episode.
Yes.
It's really subtly done, where you can just tell, I don't believe you.
She can read people very well.
The first time is in this moment, right? And then the second time is actually in Arkham later. I can't wait to talk about it, but. We also get, Alberto in the next scene, because it's almost Falcone's birthday, Carmine's birthday. He got him an old watch as his gift. And
it's old and expensive, just like him.
Yeah. And like his firstborn.
Alberto calls Oz the penguin.
Yeah.
And Sofia defends him, right? Don't call him that. He hates that.
Awesome. I love that.
That's mean. And Alberto's like,
call him Pesto. It's funnier.
Yeah. And she asks Alberto about the 44 Below girls, right? Because Summer Gleason at the Gotham Gazette has her thinking about this. He makes some jokes. That's work stuff. Sometimes he kills ladies and stuff. It's no big deal. Just mind your business, right?
There's a small little touch where, like, at one point Alberto says, like, because she's like, tell me about Dad, because you see this whole other side of him. I feel like I don't get the whole view. And Alberto's like, I would, but he would tell me if I told you. And it cuts to Oz, who's like,
Oh,
I know.
What's
he gonna say? What's he gonna say?
He's
always
ambitious.
Working. Yeah,
he's ambitious. But no, he says, where to next, Miss Falcone? And she decides to go talk to Summer Gleason, despite her, intuition saying that that's a bad idea, right?
To hell with tradition. We're
That's
talking
right.
to the press.
Yeah.
And Ms. Gleason shows her a bunch of photos of all the hanged girls and like kind of her theory, the evidence that she has.
Show me. Come on.
I know you see her. She's like sitting there like this, like.
Yeah, she's a nice lady. She don't want to see dead ladies. Yeah. She wants Sofia to wear a wire into the 44 Below. That's an absolute no. She's like, okay, at least get me employee records, right? We got to save these women. And at this point, she remembers that her mother had the same defensive wounds on her fingers. And also a little bit later that her father had scratches on his hands. But she turns that aside and says, you're a fucking nut job reporter. Leave me alone. This is all you got. Right? So she does defend her dad.
That scene was so amazing, going back to another within the flashback, Tenet style.
When she was 9?
Yeah, when she was 9. And that's when he comes in and he goes, oh, no, you shouldn't be seeing this. What happened? But then he grabs her and then you see the scratch marks on his hands. Did you guys catch those? Mm-hmm. Scratch marks on his hands. And then her fingernails were bleeding. But it's just crazy how kids block stuff out when they're young to the defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Blocking stuff out. But then she takes his glasses off and he freaks out.
No, I don't look cool.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was talking to my wife. I'm like, why? I don't get that. I don't understand.
I interpreted that as like a are you crying? Are you upset type thing? And he's not.
Okay.
I don't know if that's exactly what they were going for, but that's how I interpreted that. Was like, because eyes, I don't know if you know this, eyes are the window to the soul. And as we know, Sofia is a grade A bullshit detector. So if
she can look into his eyes and see.
Is that the origin story of why Carmine always wore Ray-Bans? He's like, I don't want Sofia to know what I'm up to. I can wear my Ray-Bans. She can look into my eyes. I can't lie to her with my eyes. They look so guilty.
I interpreted it the same way, but in a different, I don't think it was I don't want you to see that I'm not crying. I think it was I don't want you to see that I'm lying. This is kind of my, in Big Daddy, when he puts the glasses on the kid, the Sprouse kid, these are your invisibility glasses, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how Falcone feels. I can be a badass mob boss if I'm wearing these.
How many Adam Sandler movies can we weave into this review? We got Mr. T's, we got Big Daddy. Here we go. How are we getting Little Nicky in here? Let's do it.
I got water fountains that have Hawaiian punch. Phones for you. I think it's the devil. That's a third one.
I think it's the devil.
Wait, Grandma's Boy doesn't count. Anyway,
yeah, she gets in the car and I was like, hey, Sofia, I don't want to tell you your job, but we got one rule. Don't talk to the press. Yeah. Dad ain't gonna like that. And she's like, shut the fuck up, Oz.
Yeah, penguin.
Yeah.
Bitch.
She cuts him real deep. Oh, yeah. Peenween?
Yeah.
Oh, no, she knows about the dick.
She knows. How did she know? Should have sent them pics.
No one needs your advice.
Put yourself out there sometimes.
She belittles him, right? And he's you can tell he's hurt by that. So
You're just my driver.
and then at the birthday party, Carla, who we saw in a previous episode.
Carla's like, Sophia, what's up, slut?
yeah, Gia's mom. She's fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Lucas got a new wife, his third wife. He met her in Portugal. Yeah, Portugal.com. Oh, so good.
We all know it would be like Portugal.eu, though, really.
Here's the
Portugal.
It makes more sense. Here's the subtle dig that I loved. Oz comes in to tell her he's already snitched to Falcone, and that's why Falcone wants to see you, right? Your father wants to see you. But before he says anything, nicely, without even thinking about how shitty she's being, she says, Oz, what are you doing inside?
Yeah.
And he's like,
The fuck?
there's this moment where he's like, oh, sorry, I had to shit. It's like, you see that you're friendly to the dog, but the dog's not allowed on the couch kind of thing. And he's just like, there's an element to that I just loved how subtle that was.
And also, I love how he's wearing a nice new suit.
I know.
I'm sure he already got paid for telling the information, and he immediately went out and he's like, I'm gonna look fly.
Mm-hmm.
No more black and white tuxedo suits. I'm gonna look cool.
I told you it's plum, bitch.
But I'm not gonna feel good about telling you.
Nah, I'm real sad.
Hey, your dad will talk to you. It's not gonna be.
But in his defense, like he said, yes, he was ingratiating himself to Carmine. But in no universe did he think he was going to frame her for murder for doing that.
He didn't know what he was going to do.
She was going to get a little talking to. Yeah. He was going to get a promotion. No big deal.
Yeah.
So he's very shocked about what occurs after this. But
he didn't think he was going to take his daughter. Like, it's his daughter. He didn't think he was going to do anything to his daughter. No. He loved her. She was supposed to take over the family.
She's the favorite.
Yeah, she's the favorite.
How could you do that to sweet Sophia?
I know.
If anything happened to her, guys.
I know. We already told us. We will be on our best behavior.
Just everyone know.
He knows she met with a reporter, Carmine, and she lies to him about it further, right? And she does not do a good job of covering things.
No.
I know there's an explanation for why you probably killed everybody or something, or no. And he's like, no, I told you not to bring up my murder.
At one point, he's like, keep digging. You've already struck oil and you keep digging?
Yeah. The only thing you could do worse is make fun of these shades. Don't you fucking dare. I know they're red lenses and it's a weird choice. I look cool.
Ironically, your therapist is going to be shades.
Do you know how hard it is to follow up John Turturro? What else was I going to do? I was in the fucking Kingsman. He's in Coen Brothers movies. I need the shades.
I was in Kick-Ass, all right? Come on.
He was.
He was in Kick-Ass.
But so was Nick Cage. Yeah. She talks about the scratches on his hands. He tells her to leave to go home. And in that time, he's able to call 3 judges, a psychiatrist, and the whole police force.
He's nothing if not efficient.
He's so fast.
Have you seen the way that mustache twitches? He had some inspiration.
I know.
But also he starts laying the groundwork for what he's going to do to her. Because he's like, what happened to you? You're clearly not yourself. You're confused. You're sick.
You're sick. You're
leave before you make a scene.
That's right. He starts. He
so
comes
he
to
had
him
already
immediately.
He had already called everybody prior to
That's
this.
true. After Oz told him that.
After Oz told him
he's
earlier,
already laid this.
He'd already laid the whole foundation out. Hence why when they go next, what happens so quickly?
It's that
you need to go home.
It's that old Doctor Who trick where he just goes to everyone and goes, "Don't you think she looks tired?"
Oh my God, I love that. Dave Tennant, Barry, I love that. Don't you think she?
I don't understand that reference.
I could destroy you with 4 words. Don't you think she looks tired?
Or doesn't she
6
look tired?
words, sorry.
Doesn't she look tired?
Doesn't she look tired? Yes, doesn't she look tired?
Doesn't she look tired?
With 4 words and then says 6.
Oh.
It's Doctor Who. It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah. Timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah.
Timey-wimey.
I only watched Blink. But
that's a good one.
She's mad at Oz, right? Mm-hmm. You feel better? You feel good about it? I was just doing my job, Sophia. Well, Carmine sees you now. I hope you feel real good. He's like, I got a new suit. That's pretty cool.
The suit feels good.
Yeah. You and your family are in his vision now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so your family's fucked.
You know what's in my vision? A plum Maserati.
That's right.
I can finally buy that.
I'm allowed in the house, as you see. I don't know why you're being so shitty about that. There's 48 bathrooms. What, I can't use one? Jesus Christ.
I even wipe my shoes on the mat before I walk in.
Yeah.
A man can't go get Taco Bell and then have to blow one out. It's fourth meal. Come on. I even used the one upstairs.
Yeah.
I was being good.
Nobody's going in there.
Forget about it.
I even brought in my Aqua Paradise to cover the smell.
That's right. That's right.
Nice, right?
But then the cops swarm them. Miss Falcone recognizes the detective that no doubt works for her papa.
Come on, Kinsey.
And then, she's being charged with the murder of Summer Gleason and all of the girls, Yolanda Jones, et cetera, et cetera.
And Oz is trying to fight him off. Like, no, get out of here.
Because
leave her alone.
You see, like, the relationship, he does genuinely care for her. He did not know any of this was going to happen.
No, he's surprised.
Yeah.
And then at the station, talking to her lawyer, she finds out that Uncle Luca, Johnny Vitti, fucking Carla, they all wrote affidavits attesting to her, lack of sound mind. And
I love how she's specifically offended that she has a compulsion for killing animals. She's like, what
the fuck?
Right. I mean, I
love animals. Yeah. I go to the zoo all goddamn day.
Serial killer 101. She hangs out with a penguin all day. How could she be? Somebody made a joke that I wish I had thought of because there's that movie came out this year that everybody's been talking about, My Penguin Friend. And that could have been the name of this show. And I think I was like, damn, I wish I had thought of that.
But in the station, though, it just shows that her and Alberto's relationship and how close they are. And how he's doing everything in his power to try to help his sister.
Which is very little because he's dumb as shit.
I know, because I know.
All right, sorry.
So, do I talk to...
I was watching TikToks and then somebody told me you were here.
So on the way over here, I Googled, what is the justice system? There's something about a lady with she's like, Lady Justice? I don't know. I'm going to look into it a little bit more.
It was just
She's
a picture of
blindfolded for some reason.
I don't get it.
Maybe we should call Batman.
Yeah.
This would have been before Batman because this was 10 years ago. And I think at the point of this, he's only been Batman for 2 years.
He was still just Bruce. He was out training with Ra's al Ghul at this point.
Yeah.
Dang. He would have helped if he could.
Is that how Robert Pattinson's Batman was doing training?
We don't know.
What was the anniversary in the Batman of his parents' death? What? How many years was it?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't recall. But they're definitely dead because he was a little boy. And he's
he's just a boy.
He's 16 at this point at the least.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah, he's not out hanging out with Mr. Wayne.
That's a spinoff I want to see.
Yeah.
Hanging it with Mr. Wayne.
Hanging with Mr. Wayne.
The Waynes.
There was it's spoopy season, right? So it's Halloween. So
Sure.
Erica was looking up some jewelry for a Halloween party. And there was this really cool, it's like a pearl necklace, but then there's these other beads that cascade on one side, but they're red. So it looks
Snyder style.
Kind of looks like your throat's cut. And she's like, ooh, this is cool. Should I get this? I'm like, are you going as Bruce Wayne's mom?
Martha?
What did you say that name?
You could have had a whole thing in the Halloween store. Why did you say that name?
Why did you say that name? You tank her up and put her trigger. Why did you say that name?
Where's the trigger?
And so Sofia's being remanded to Arkham, and she has to stay there a minimum of 6 months until her, arraignment, her trial starts, right? And she's like, well, I'm not gonna. What? 6 fucking months? What do you? You're my lawyer. She's aghast at this idea, right?
I'm
gonna
the worst
go home.
fucking lawyers.
I'm tired of being here now. I can't stay here another 10 minutes, much less 6 months. What are you talking about, right? And and her brother Alberto tries to help. You're a fucking Falcone. Don't even say that. You're gonna make it.
You're gonna make it.
6 months. I'll get you out of there, right? It's a heartbreaking scene.
It is a very heartbreaking scene. It's only 6 months. I love that. You're a fucking Falcone. I said, you're a fucking Falcone.
Yeah, even though Alberto's such a fuck up, they do that first episode, you're just kind of man, I can't wait for that guy to bite it, right?
Yeah.
But every time they do a flashback with him and Sophie, he's like, oh,
he died.
He's a fucking idiot. But
he's a lovable idiot.
He loves Sophia.
He was the only one that was good to his sister, or loyal, right? Even though he's shitty to everyone else.
Yeah.
He's the Jamie Lannister of the show.
Yeah. She gets
I can't. Sorry,
well,
I can't even.
I don't think that's a good reference.
I can't even say that with a straight face.
I don't think that's a good reference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think he's that kind of brother.
I was looking at it from the point of here's an outcasted sibling that they're nice to, but Jamie Lannister.
They're not that close.
He does love his sister.
He does.
He loves her sister
hard.
she gets taken into Arkham, and we get this like V for Vendetta montage.
Oh, it's so invasive.
It's so
frightening.
The fucking pap smear. I was like, Jesus Christ, not cool.
Not cool. They treat her like an animal. They literally treat her like an animal. They're like using scrubs and scrubbing the dead skin off of her.
Delousing all that stuff. Taking her into Arkham.
Like going at her teeth and stuff.
Yeah, their hands are in her mouth. You don't know where the fingers have been.
It's awful. It's awful. Dr. Ventress we meet, and also Julian Rush, whom we already know. And apparently her neighbor, her cellie, is Moaning Myrtle, which is a wild choice from Harry Potter.
Is that actually the actress Moaning Myrtle?
No,
I didn't think it was.
The voice when she first talked.
You said that with such confidence.
You did.
I was just
Moaning Myrtle.
I mean, it makes sense. She has that voice.
It was a bit, and then I went. I was teeing you up to do the.
Call you the hangman.
Yeah. See, that's all I wanted you to do. You're rusty.
Like the bird. Do you know Harry?
Anyway, she says her name's Magpie. She's
Magpie kind of threw me for a loop because when they first show her through the little
the peephole,
the
hole in the wall.
She looks like a rough 50. And then when you see her in the cafeteria later on, she looks way younger.
Yeah.
Well,
kind of threw me for a loop. Like, whoa.
We all look different through the peephole.
Magpie.
We all look different.
I haven't put my face on yet.
Lights out. Lights out.
Magpie saves her a seat at lunch. We get that whole bit, and she gets her happy pills. Ooh, candy.
I wish we would have gotten like a
Which
Mean
is
Girl
the
scene
pills they
in
sell
the
later.
cafeteria where it's like, oh, those are the jocks.
Oh, yeah, the clicks. I know. I wanted to like meet everybody in
Those
there.
are the weird cowboys.
That's Clayface. He's literally Clay. Hello.
But it's like Alan Tudyk's Clayface.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
I used to be an actor.
Exactly. But yeah, Magpie wants to be her friend. And then the unchained inmate walks in.
Yeah. But she's then first introduced to Bliss there.
That's the happy pills.
Yeah, the happy pills. Yeah. That's where they get Bliss.
Very gummy.
Yeah.
What I didn't like that.
Well,
'cause
I felt like
how her
here's
teeth
the
were all
pill.
blood. Yeah, and she's just chewing it.
I think, yes, exactly.
Oh,
as an former addict, you really want the effects of those pills quickly. Well, obviously snort them, but at second best, chew them, right? So that's why she gets like the normal.
Really?
Most people are just going to swallow them. You're not going to get that red teeth effect. But she wants them to kick. Because pills have most of them have
that coating
time release factor where as they're digested, they slowly enter your bloodstream. Okay. But if you chew them, or you could parachute them, which is where you crush them into a fine powder, put them in like a piece of paper, which will dissolve instantly. But real gangsters just chew them.
What kind of paper is best?
Tissue.
Taking notes.
The thinner, the better, right?
We have parchment. We have wax.
Or you could, now this is, like I said, most gangsters chewing. You could plug them. That's bad for your teeth, though. You could plug them. You know what plugging is? You put them in your ass, Hatter.
I mean, it's bad. My mind went there first, but I didn't want to say it.
Sure. I get it. It's like butt chugging.
Butt chugging.
You don't want
But for pills.
You don't want to seem too eager to show that you know what plugging is. Like, oh yeah, I know.
Oh, what is that?
I mean, plugging like a toilet.
You mean like
an outlet?
Yeah. When the three prongs.
No, we're
Reset?
talking about booty holes.
I mean, that could be 3 prongs.
You can absorb them. I wasn't a big plugger, you know?
No.
We I had a buddy plug ecstasy once, but he said, might as well put it in my ass for all the good it'd be.
Nice.
Sorry. Any hoozle.
Candy.
Candy. Yeah, we see the Bliss.
Yeah.
But then the unchained inmate comes in, and Sophia's like, we're all wearing shackles and like a, what's it called? The throat thing, like a
Collar.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that makes sense. The collar, they're very chained.
Yeah.
And there's this willy-nilly inmate walking through, and Sophia's like, should I be concerned?
Should someone do something about that?
She doesn't have the things on.
Guards.
Right?
She's not chained.
She also has not been served her food. And she keeps saying, you killed those girls. And then she's singing Motley Crue for some reason. Because she goes, girls. And then she stomps the shit out of Sofia. Nobody stops her. And the next scene, Julian Rush is alone with her in her cell. And she's like, yeah, they let her stomp the shit out of me.
I heard you had an incident.
Yeah, you had a rough night.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
this
I
girl
got
beat the
stomped.
shit out of me. And no one did a damn thing.
I got curb stomped.
She fucking did.
I didn't know that was real.
I'm sorry that happened to you. Oh, you are.
Yeah.
There's not even a curb in here. But they did it. And it's like Kim Kardashian in prison. You know what I mean? It's like not a good night for Sofia. And she tells him, hey, I keep telling everybody I didn't murder those women. It was my dad. He's framing me. It's upsetting. I'm still processing it. And she says, you don't believe me. I can tell. Right. And like, because of what we know about Sofia, I think that's meant to be literal. Like she can tell.
Yeah.
She's very observant and he doesn't believe her. Right. And she knows. And it's offensive.
She's got that bullshit detector.
It's offensive.
Yeah.
You know, on top of everything
really,
else.
And that's such a good point because if people are like accusing you of being
A hangman.
a
The worst.
someone who's not
She probably
in their
can't
right
even play
mind.
that game anymore.
No, she can't. Like
They're like, guess a letter. She's like, I can't do it.
that's really offensive.
PTSD.
Yeah, if you're someone that society has deemed as mentally unfit, like there's so many. Now you're in a position where even if you're totally okay, people are always going to like question, like, oh, that must be the voices talking or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's really sad. It's an unwinnable situation.
Yeah,
Especially since she did murder a bunch of people eventually to survive.
Yeah.
Not cool. You made me do it.
So it goes in like he's looking at her and he sees her differently than the rest of the Arkham sees her. You can tell he's infatuated with her just by the way of who she is and the way she looks. And you can tell that he's probably not that type of doctor that the rest of them are. But she doesn't know that yet. She's still like, you work here, so you're probably a piece of shit too, just like everyone else who's been treating me like a piece of shit here.
Yeah, I can't tell if he is sympathetic to her and a little bit of, the rookie and he's naive and he's like, are we torturing or, or if he's the worst of them.
Oh,
because he's also like sexually assaulting her.
Yeah.
And trying to manipulate her. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where they're going with his character
there's
yet.
There's definitely an ick factor to his character that they haven't quite, I don't think, fully revealed.
Because there's a power dynamic there that is like 100% assault.
Right.
So it's weird what they're doing with Julian Rush there, but she's got this like rash all over her. I didn't know if that was like wounds, and you can see a scar in the present day scenes on her arm.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's all over her neck and stuff in the first scene where she first gets the electroshock therapy.
I thought wasn't that bruising from her beatdown?
I thought, but it's like she has different like kind of wounds and stuff all the time throughout this montage.
The montage
that happens in a bit, but after the fork scene. I thought Steve was going to lose his fucking mind during this. I know you probably haven't listened to our Stranger Things coverage, but they give her this fork and then they have like the chained up inmate sitting there, right? Yeah. Dr. Brenner would have loved this.
Yeah, I kept yelling child fights. When we were watching.
Thank you. I thought so.
Dr. Venture's like,
oh
we're back here at the Thunderdome. I thought for once we'd try something new. We got adults.
Stick a fork in it. Till it's done.
Dinner's done.
Yeah.
Oh, the one through the fight. That's not cool.
I lost $500.
Are any of these people psychically gifted? Well, then what the fuck am I doing here? I'm going to go torture kids in Indiana.
This is more of an Aegon Targaryen kind of fight.
Now those are cool.
We just mixed three. Three fandoms.
Hey, Dr. Brenner goes across all shows.
He does. Mm-hmm. This episode of Streaming Things is sponsored by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
You know, Steve, there's something I need to get off my chest.
What's that, fella?
It's been weighing on me. You know that I resigned at the day job recently, right? And I've been a little scared. There's a family to worry about. There's health insurance. There's capitalism.
Sounds like a stressful time.
But we all carry around different stressors, big and small. And it feels better when you bring something to the light. We keep them bottled up. It can start to affect us negatively. And therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. In my case, it's all the stress, the misery, the fear,
but I had to come over here and share that with you. And I felt better. You know, that's a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
Unloading all that on you and Erica and feeling better myself.
That sounds like my Friday night.
Sometimes you just need somebody to listen. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you're not vibing, that's completely fine. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/streamingthings to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/streamingthings.
Ooh, spooky streaming things in October. What's up, Stream Fiends? It's a new month, and it's time to thank the patrons of Streaming Things. You guys are literally keeping the lights on over here for us at the podcast, and if we didn't have lights on, there'd be all sorts of ghosties and monsters and vampires that could scare us all throughout the night. So thank you guys so much from the bottom of our hearts, and we have an extra special thank you to our super patrons for the month of October. Let's read them out now. So a special thank you to Smithers, Nice Guy Eddie, Albus Stinkpot, Sean, Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Jim X, Lady Trashley, Just Liz Calabria, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, E Scramo, Lil Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, Bluff Pum, AK Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Big Butthorn, Jer Latanowicz, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Elfbander, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Stanton Valentino, Trisha Bueller, Sun-Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jen Robinson, Kloop, Kalisha Reeves, Paula Garcia, Brenda Bren, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, Stephen V, Casey McCain, and as always, Enza. Thank you all so much for supporting the show, and let's get back to this episode of the podcast.
So she, Sofia catches on because Dr. Ventress is like, do it.
I know. He's like,
you better stab her. And she's like, wait a second. You're trying to I'm a killer. Like, I stabbed the other inmate with a fork. So now it confirms everybody's suspicions about me. But then, of course, the other inmate is very unstable and is probably someone you would stab with a fork if you needed to.
Well, also, like, in the moment, it seemed like, yes. But also, like, they're also torturing that inmate.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that inmate is just like,
she wants to die.
Fucking kill me, please.
Exactly.
This is my only way to get out of this situation.
Yes.
And if you're thinking maybe she was like the Sofia when she got there, and then this is what it's going to, like Sofia sees that, she's like, end it.
Also an heiress that was framed.
You know what I mean?
It's the Maroney daughter.
Not the innocent victim.
Why does this keep happening?
It's just these two crime families keeping up with the Joneses. Like, oh, well, they sent their daughter to Arkham. Well, we got to send ours.
Yeah, I'm not going to be outdone. So she stabs herself in the throat. It's brutal.
Multiple
Gnarly.
times, too. Like, God.
It's hard to do. Do you ever accidentally bit a fork?
Yeah, and it hurts.
Oh,
so bad. You're like,
awful.
oh, God.
Awful.
Dentist.
Makes you. Yeah, that's what I scream. Dentist.
That's it.
Take me, please.
And then we get the electroshock therapy montage. I love the bit where she she thinks she sees something in the wall, but it's obviously she's losing her grip on reality, and it's the wallpaper in the room where she discovered her mother's body, right? And there is this little bit where Julian Rush is like, "What if she's telling the truth?" And Ventress is like,
That's not what we're here to do,
those
bro.
aren't the questions we ask. That's not a good one. But don't ever say that shit again.
But during the montage scene of where she's being electroshock therapy, the music is playing is almost like Tim Burton-esque music.
Danny Elfman?
Yeah, it's like Danny Elfman is. That's what it reminded me of. It brought me back to like, oh, so this is part of the Batman universe, sort of, with that music. That's what it did to me. And I'm like, okay, so it's going through that.
You want to get nuts?
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. But no, that's what it just brought me back to. And I was like, oh, as I said, I love music. The right music and the right scenes make everything.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Music is important for sure. Girls. But Sofia gets a visitor eventually. It's her brother, Alberto. We've seen pieces of this scene before in her nightmares. It's been 6 months. She's been in there 6 months. She's been toughing it out, getting fucking tortured, just looking forward to this one day. And then it turns out she's not going to get a trial. Dr. Ventress has seen that she is not fit to stand trial, so she's just going to be in Arkham forever. Mm-hmm. She's very upset about that.
She's like, I did my 6 months. I served my dime. You
That's
come
right.
take me.
That's right.
And then she just loses it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's upsetting.
Her
very
her
upsetting.
whole world comes crashing down
Yeah.
because the whole wallpaper thing is a really interesting way to showcase like what they're doing to her is making her unstable.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so sad. And like we see like the scratches on her neck come from this nightmare she has of her father choking her out. And it's so sad. And just that like slow 1,000-yard stare walk back to the cafeteria is just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's awful.
They beat her in that movie.
And this is how the system can be.
Yeah.
Less electroshock therapy, but you can stay in jail in Kentucky for 10 years without being sentenced.
That's insane.
And so you'll see that in there as like a guy who's charged with something. He's indicted, but not convicted. He's still possibly innocent, but he's in jail for 4 months. And then you think your trial date is on June 16th. And then you find out on June 9th that it's been pushed back to September. Right?
Yeah.
It's fucking maddening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And so, so it's not the same as this. Obviously, it's not like a gangster mob boss, always corrupt
That we know
with corrupt
of.
officials, and but it's an insane system. And so she finds out that the day she's been waiting for to get out is actually just not happening at all on that day. It's fucking maddening. Magpie, so happy. My friend, we can celebrate our birthdays. Mine's in February, which means I'm an Aquarius. Aquarius.
She sealed her fate as soon as she like revealed that, like, oh, I'm an Aquarius. You're a Pisces.
We're not going to talk star signs.
Oh, you're doing astrology right now? Give me the fork. Give me the fork back, please.
I'll use the same one. Just pull it out of her neck. Give me the fork.
I'll use a
take it.
spoon.
Spoon out her eyes.
Can I have a spork?
Beats Magpie to fucking death.
Yeah.
On that table.
Smashes
She
her
snaps.
fucking head.
Because she's like, are you
Working
being
for them?
paid to like, yeah.
Like she accuses her of being paid the drugs
Yeah.
to sort of snitch on her and like report what she's doing and
I
everything.
wanted to get your guys' insight on it. Do you guys think she was, or do you think she just came up with that with everything that's been happening to her? It's kind of hard
I was
to
going to
like
ask that same thing.
differentiate that.
It obviously, it doesn't really matter, right? Because the important thing is that Sofia snaps and we see she's kind of becoming what they thought she was because of what they're doing, but also, which kind of puts her on level ground with Oz in an interesting character way. But I don't know. I guess so. Like, because Magpie seems pretty offended by that enough to make it true. And Sophia is known to be able to snuff out bullshit, right? What's your take on that, Steve?
I thought
Magpie
that
innocent?
was, no. Magpie guilty. Anyone who talks like that, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, like just because she says something like, "Oh, you don't have to lie anymore. You can tell them the truth now.
Yeah.
and we can be friends." And it's just like she just seemed too happy. Like, oh, good. Like you
It
got
didn't go
denied
well.
oh, it didn't go well. Worked out for old Magpie. Everything's coming up Magpie.
Now they'll give you candy now.
We can have candy together.
Yeah.
I like the blueberry ones. They don't come out as often. It's usually cherry. But blue raz,
I love this match cut that they do because she kills her and then she gets injected with Thorazine or whatever and falls backwards onto Dr. Rush's couch in the present day, waking up after the Oz betraying her. It's fucking super well done.
Jared, she said that right before she got stabbed. She goes, "I told you I was innocent."
yeah.
Because all before this, she goes, "I'm innocent, I'm innocent, I'm innocent." And then read that moment after she kills her, she goes, "I told you I was innocent," which means she's not innocent anymore.
She's less innocent.
She's less than, less than, she's a little less innocent.
And she tells
Look what
Gia,
you
I had to
made
fight
me
some.
do.
Yeah, I had to fight some monsters. That's right. But she wakes up there. He's cooking brekkie. He's that's what I'm saying. It's creepy. Like it should be like, hey, my patient is incredibly distraught. There's been a moida. Instead, he's like, I got eggies and bakies.
Well, and also the way they frame that, because she wakes up on his couch and he's like looming over her as if he was like on top of her.
Hi.
Like,
Said Aqua Paradise.
ooh, I like that smell. It's nice, right?
It smells like you were in a purple plum Maserati.
And he's like, yeah, you can. I brought you a change of clothes.
Sure.
It's a very inappropriate relationship. I'm really looking forward to seeing like the other shoe drop on this guy in the future, because he's the biggest
Question mark.
question mark. I haven't quite nailed down.
Riddle.
Ooh, riddle me that. He's definitely the biggest mystery in the show, because I can't quite peg down like who he is, what his motivations are, why he's helping her. And there's, like I said, there's that ick factor to him. But he goes off into the other room to go get Brecky. But she starts doing the smart thing and going through his drawers.
She sees the bliss. You know, he's medicating himself now, right? And she reports to him when he comes back in, like, it's a bad situation, right? I don't know where Oz is. I have no allies, no resources. I'm 24 hours from Luca murdering me if I don't go to Sicily. And at this point, he says, why don't you should maybe go to Sicily, right? So it's kind of a magpie vibe.
Yeah.
As far as, are you working for them kind of thing?
You deserve a fresh start.
And then she says, you miss how it was in Arkham, don't you? You liked having power over me. Always trying to, now you're numbing yourself as punishment. And she says, all of the men in my life have always just lied to me. Now that I'm out, they're still doing that. They think I'm broken. I'm not broken. The world is.
Oh, that was good.
Just like how Oz feels, right? Again, I love these parallels.
But she also says, like, the world's not sick. I'm not sick. Neither are you.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting.
Exactly. That's what I mean about his character.
Stop medicating yourself because you're not sick.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But I love what the show is doing is it's showing, like you said at the top of the show, about basically oppressors versus the oppressed. Because you've got Oz, who's disabled and impoverished, right? Always shat on by the world. Sofia, the daughter of a very powerful man. She's very rich, but a woman.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so all the different ways that society others people and the different power dynamics and how they're utilized, it's really good stuff. Not that, but the way the show's doing it.
Because it keeps surprising me when they do stuff like that. It's like, oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah. And so we get this phenomenal scene where she decides in that moment, you know what? I got an idea. And she shows up to dinner.
I love how awkward. I love how awkward she makes it. But yeah, she's slaying.
Who's clearing their throat when she enters?
I didn't know. I was trying to look. I paused a few times.
That's not her, is it?
Doesn't sound like. Sounds like a man.
I
Maybe
think,
Johnny or something.
I agree with you guys. I think it's supposed to be her, but I did not
really
register it as her when she did it because I heard it, and then the camera pans to her, and I was like, oh, I guess that was her. But yeah, it definitely seemed like
I don't know if it's her or like
Sophia's here.
Yeah, I think it's like a Johnny thing. Like, hey, acknowledge the elephant in the room here. Holy shit, that dress is incredible. Yeah,
she comes in just boom,
slay, pass the meatballs. I'm here supporting Uncle Luca. I love the bit where she's open mouth chewing the meatball for Gia. Like it's all pretense is out the window.
I love her full ass cup of wine. Like she
just keeps pouring it.
It's literally right to the brim. Like if she picks that thing up, she's making a mess. She's staining something.
You gotta let it aerate.
You do. She's not here for that.
That's the year Martha Wayne was murdered.
But it's a good vintage.
88.
Wow. But I love how she just, because Luca gets up and Luca's such a tool. He's like, oh, we weathered the storm. It makes us stronger. And she's like, hold on. I got something more important to say.
I love that she tinks the toast, interrupting him.
And that
so
wine
baller.
is spilling everywhere because it's full. She's like, click, click, click.
Yep.
And everyone lets her talk.
She says all the victims' names, which is wonderful. And then she gives this powerful speech.
I mean, that line of like, what is it? Their names are worth saying. Victims are so quickly forgotten. Like that's like a thing.
She said, we are so.
We are so quickly forgotten. But like, that's such a great line because that's a real life thing. Because like everyone knows the serial killer. No one remembers the victim's name, which is, it should be the reverse. Like those people should be lost to history and not put on a pedestal.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just remember
until Ryan Murphy makes a show.
Yes.
And then she gives the Cent'anni toast to new beginnings, right? Which is Italian for live for 100 years.
For 100 years,
I think.
Yeah.
Then they all go to bed. She sneaks Gia out, young Gia, with some cake into the greenhouse.
Look at this cake, little girl. Come to the greenhouse.
Sorry, there's this point in the speech that is so fucking funny to me because it's so petty, but in a great way. She's like, unlike everyone here, I was innocent. For Christ's sake, Milos has a higher body count than I do. And then fucking nerdy ass Milos is like, what? Why am I catching strays?
You slept with 4 women. She means murder. Okay. That's true. And she takes Gia to the greenhouse. She convinces her to like slumber party there, right? And she tells, Carla's right. Your mother's right. I've done bad things. Why'd you do bad things? That's not cool. Don't do bad things.
Word that a Twitter so simple.
And she put me in they put me in Arkham, right? I had to fight some monsters, right? So I'm going to make sure you never have to fight. And I was crying my eyes out, right? Because there's this element of, women who've been abused protecting girls in this scene. That's really powerful. Because I don't know, that's not my business to share, but I know I have a lot of friends who are just, very like that, like absolutely not, kind of thing. And I really appreciate that. And Sofia wakes in the greenhouse at dawn. You go back to sleep. And we find out that she has poisoned everybody with gas all night. Everybody's fucking dead. I don't really understand how Johnny's alive or how
she left the window open. Remember she's smoking a cigarette after dinner?
Oh, she was smoking in Johnny's room?
Yeah, she opens the window and then she's getting ready to close it and then she stops and she just tosses her cigarette out and leaves the window open.
Nice.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
That plan could have been if he was like, ooh, I got to chill.
Fuck. God damn, he must have woken up in the middle of the night.
You thin-skinned bitch. You ruined everything.
Oh, everyone knows Johnny Vitti has 3 duvets.
He sleeps with socks on.
Yeah, he sleeps with socks on. He
I
loves
just
to be
love in his
swaddled.
room. He's got 2 electric guitars.
He's swaddled.
He's Johnny V just rocking out in the middle of the night.
No, he's not talented. He's in there playing Smoke on the Water. Blah, blah, blah.
Fuck. Aw, damn it.
It's everybody's first power
I think
chords.
it's out of tune.
You wouldn't know, Johnny.
Ding.
Yep. They're all fucking dead. The poor bodyguards too, though,
I know. There's
But
I love
there's
how
3
dramatic-
guys outside hey, where's Carl? He's supposed to tag me out.
Shifts. I'm going to start my shift. No one's let me in. It's weird.
Frank had to shit, never came back.
I love when she's going around and you see all the bodies. There was a little bit of what's Luca's wife's name? Is she with Johnny Vitti? Oh no, she's with Luca. Mm-hmm. And then it goes to
Tina?
Tina, is that her name? I can't remember her name.
Something.
But then it goes to Milos, and Milos looks like fucking death came up behind him and said boo. That dude's laying on the ground ah!
Yeah. Her body count's higher now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got the high score in that household.
But how pumped were you guys, though? I was fucking cheering.
I love the whole gas mask scene. It's great.
I was cheering. I was like, they fucking deserved it.
Get her, get him. During the whole dinner scene, this goes back to the tension I was talking about at the top of the show. But during that whole dinner scene, it was so tense because she's making it awkward by dragging the chair, making loud noises. There's just this weight to that scene, and it's because what is she gonna do? Mm-hmm. What is this fresh new? Because it's she's not just gonna leave. That's not her fresh new start.
No.
All these motherfuckers are dying. But then she goes and has a nice little slumber party. You're like, oh, okay, what happened? And then when
I thought the house was going to explode.
I did too.
Because I'm like, how can she kill everybody without obviously killing everybody and get away with it?
Yeah, and so when she does that walk through, you're just like, get him, yeah. But I was so happy, I was so amped for her. I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for her.
Hang
and then she goes to Vitti, who's the only one she left alive. She's like, hey man, we need to talk. Do you think? Because he just woke up. Do you think he was like,
what
the fuck you doing in my room? Get out of here!
Every time I wake up,
oh my god, everyone's dead.
It's the second time she's cornered him in bed.
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, this is bullshit.
Put your pants on. Put your dick away.
We got to quit meeting like this.
Where's Oz? Come on. What are you showing me here? Put your pants on.
But now she's got that's another ring.
You want to chew on a phone? I'll make you do it.
Eat this phone. You know how much fecal matter's on a phone?
No.
This is a Nokia. You're never going to chew through this.
It's going to sit in your stomach forever.
Time to play Snake. This is a graphing calculator. It's a millennial joke.
TI-89. TI-84. TI-83 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. If you type in an 8, 2 zeros and an 8, that's like that. Add a 5 in there, you got 2 boobs.
Boobs. And that's the end of the
This little
episode.
trick I know. Going up on the streets.
I
you
know
gotta
2
these
things. Slush puppies and how to write boobs on a
booby
calculator.
trick. You can write other things. I kind of forget what they are, though.
There are other
This
things.
is Steve not forgetting what the other things are. Right?
All right, it's time for our Slush Puppies, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode. Hatter, what's your number 3?
So my number 3 favorite moment, which they're kind of all on the same level because this episode was just
Can't do
so amazing. Oh, I know.
Cheating.
I know it's cheating. I know. But they're very close. Very close. I should say that.
Sure.
So number 3 is Sofia and Rush's conversation. Where she's like, she asked him all the questions. I haven't forgotten the way you looked at me. So curious. The way she's like, because she has the power now. She has the power over him and she knows it. But she also, like you said, there's that it could be that history of what he did to her in there. And she knows it. Now she's out. She can defend herself. And he's got that fear of her too. And maybe he's numbing himself with the pills because of what he did and what he had to do in there that he thought he had to do or whatever he did. But then, like you said, for 10 years, men have lied to me. And then I come home and then it's all the same. And then the end line, they think I'm broken. I'm not broken. I'm the one who's sick, or I'm not the one who's sick, and neither are you. The world is. And she's just like, looked at, and she got real close, like the tempting, because he's like, she
thought they were gonna kiss.
He was starting to lean in like,
yeah, he wants to kiss her, and she's like,
happening.
no, you're my bitch, is what she said to him there. That's my number 3.
Awesome. Steve?
My number 3 is her getting arrested by the police.
You specifically in the car with Oz? Or the intake sequence?
I mean, both scenes are amazing. I think I like the Oz scene because of the fact that it's like he didn't know and he's defending her. But the intake scene is what I'm specifically referring to because that is so heartbreaking. And just the way she's like, no, this ain't happening. This ain't happening. And Alberto's trying to kind of step up for her. Yeah, I mean, that scene I was scared for her. Like, I've never been in a situation like that. I can only imagine how devastating that is and terrifying. But like the way they film it, and it's because there's a little bit of shakiness to the camera.
Paul Greengrass.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Greengrass would be fucking all over the place. But they did a great job of just accentuating how terrifying that is and how awful the situation she's going to be in. And it just made me like Alberto even more, which is just shocking. Like, yeah, Google justice system some more, my guy, and then come back. Ooh, let's get a plan. Let's circle back.
It's one of those things too, because they come from money too, along top of that. So they've never had to deal with that type of stuff because they're obviously their Carmine's probably gotten them out of she probably never got in trouble, but like Alberto knows or thinks he knows the system, but his dad's gotten him out of a ton of trouble.
Yeah,
most likely.
Nepo baby.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, her lawyer is like Barry Zuckercorn of Gotham. She should have gotten Bob Blah Blah. He would have been a much better attorney. He would have gotten her out in 6 months.
Blah blah blah.
Is this did you not watch Arrested Development? Are these jokes not landing?
No.
So the joke in Arrested Development is their lawyer is Barry Zuckercorn, played by Henry Winkler, who's just an inept attorney, and so they keep cutting to the dad going, "I have the worst fucking attorney." But the good attorney in town is Bob Loblaw. And so like, we got to get Bob Loblaw. Oh my God. Did you read it? Did you read Bob Loblaw's law blog? It's so good.
His law blog.
Great show.
God damn it. My number 3 is when she was remanded to Arkham and just the shock culminating in what I talked about earlier in the episode with her, the door closing with finality. And then that first magpie.
Hello.
Hangman.
I'm moaning murder.
I can help you solve the clue.
How'd she find the one screw that she could just poke the screw out? Because the screw falls and she picks it up like, and then there's a hole like.
She's been there a long time.
Oh yeah,
magpie.
Yeah,
I'm the one that unscrewed it. I have a screw loose, so I can recognize them. I can help you win the Tri-Wizard tournament. These people are fucking crazy. They're all Harry Potter fans. It's the fucking worst.
Oh, God damn. I'm surrounded by Hufflepuffs.
The red pills are polyjuice potion.
We've all been thinking it.
Yeah, that's my favorite when she's remanded to Arkham. It's a devastating sequence. Your number 2, Hatter.
Number 2 would be the conversation between her and Oz after she meets with Summer Gleason. And you can see that was one of the turning points of their relationship when she's yelling at him, tells him to be quiet, that she didn't need his advice and that nobody cares what he thinks. I don't care what you think. Nobody cares what you think. You're just a driver. So just drive me. And you can see at that point, you're definitely, that relationship just flipped at that point because you guys had this connection there And yes, she was mad at him, but then she broke that connection at that point to him in his eyes. And that's when he went and told Carmine. Obviously, he didn't know what Carmine was going to do, but you can see that's the instance where he's like, fine, I'm going to start doing stuff for myself. No one cares about me. They're going to care what I have to say at this point.
Love it. Steve, your number 2?
My number 2 is Carmine betraying Sofia, like that scene where Oz brings her in. Your dad wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
And he just like, why do you talk to the press? Just because, I mean, it's great to see Mark Strong. Like, it was really awesome to see Carmine show up in this show. Mm-hmm. And just to kind of see the genesis of like how she got into Arkham. It's because her dad just completely threw her on the bus for his own awful misdeeds. Right. It's heartbreaking. And the way that he gaslights the entire scene, like, you're not feeling well. Please leave before you leave a scene. And she's just so heartbroken because she's realizing that
he's a murderer.
You're a murderer. You murdered my mom, and I've looked up to you, and I was so excited to like be your number 2, or like your successor, basically. Mm-hmm. Like I trusted you, and the way he just so easily casts her aside for his own well-being it's devastating.
Yeah,
it is.
My number 2 is the death of Magpie. A huge turning point in the character of Sofia Falcone, where she's mad as hell and she's not going to take it anymore. Mm-hmm. And, but also realizing that she's so backed into a corner and like, that's the only outlet for her rage. I'll just be, because there's something so profound about what we do to people who are othered in society. Mm-hmm. They're like, you were talking about, like, I'm just going to.
You want me to be a psycho killer? I'll show you a psycho killer.
Be what you think I am anyway.
Yeah.
But also I have no choice at this point because this is for my own survival. This bitch is crazy, there's so much loaded into that, but also it's a comic book show and we get like a cool death scene, but there's so much depth to it, to that brutality. So yeah, Magpie's death, the death of the bird is my
death of the bird. Bird.
Birds whistle when I talk like this. Any Pete and Baz fans in the house? That's my number 2. Hatter, your favorite moment of the episode?
Favorite moment, the climax at the end, where she comes into dinner. She looks fantastic and great. She's taking over her life and turning everything around. That everyone treats her like she's crazy. They treat her like she's not part of the family. And she finally just gives in and it's like, all right, I'm not part of the family. So you guys aren't family. I'm going to take this matters.
You're not fam anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to take
moves are weak.
I'm going to take the Falcone family back, and she's walking through the house with the gas mask on, and the song "So Long My Love," Sarah Vaughan singing it, and she's playing it, and then like I said, like you know how I feel about music. Yeah, she's skipping around. Because she took back the power that they took from her. And that's in that instance, that's what that was. She took back the power. She has it all in her hands. And now she's running stuff. And now everyone has to listen to her now. Mm-hmm. It was the whole episode.
I'm the queen.
Yes, I'm the queen. The queen.
Rage Against the Machine fan. Take the power back.
Oh yeah.
But that was my number 1. Yeah.
That's my number. Well, specifically the dinner scene is my number 1. Again, I said it at the top, like this is so full of tension, and the strays that she's catching, and I love her speech because she's just so fucking over it. Because she tried to play their game, they wouldn't let her in. They're not being the people that she looked up to.
betrayal is like the final like.
Oh yeah,
fuck everybody.
Yeah, like she's just there to help herself now. The only person she could trust has been murdered. And Gia, right? I mean, because. And I like the point that you made, Kit, like the whole, like, I'm going to make sure no monsters ever harm you. And in her eyes, the biggest monsters in her entire life are in that dinner table. Mm-hmm. They're her own family.
Sure.
And so my new beginning begins tomorrow and it's going to be great. And I'm going to fucking gas all of you motherfuckers when you sleep.
Bitches.
I kind of, the whole time I was on the edge of my seat, but at the same time, I'm like, get him. Get him, girl. So, yeah, love it.
That's my number 1 as well. The speech at dinner, specifically it's very similar to the Magpie's death, just being backed into a corner. Like, okay, this is my last card to play, and this is on you, kind of situation. And the hangman being born, but what started with like a really sweet philanthropist.
Yeah,
but society.
It really just shows what
live in
that
a
society can do to you and change you. And they mark you as that. And you just say, and you accept it. Fine, I'll accept it. I'll accept that I'm crazy, or that you think that I'm crazy. I'll show you how crazy I can be, like you said earlier.
Pass me the meatballs.
Exactly. Oh my God, I love that.
Plus, those homemade
here to
meatballs are
support-
probably fire. I'm really hungry right now.
Yeah. They probably are so good.
Oh my goodness. I don't even drink wine, but like
Let's go to Piata.
I got a gift card to Boca. You ever been there? It's an Italian
I
restaurant.
have been to Boca.
Pretty
Yeah.
good.
Is it Boca or Boca de Beppo?
No, just Boca.
Oh,
not
Boca. Yeah,
Buca.
I've been to
Buca.
Boca.
I've never been to Boca.
It's like Buca de Beppo, like it's family style.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
is it? Those family style dinners are so good because when those meatballs do come out, they're like the size of baseballs.
And they're like, these are shareable portions. And I'm like, can't tell. You guys want anything or are you going to order?
I got my stuff. What are you guys getting?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that's my number one scene. It's time for our drops. It's time for some Easter eggs. Let's go one at a time around
do
the
it
table. See what we got. I'm going to make Steve really proud, but he probably got it. But Hatter.
All right. One of the things, introducing multiple characters, Summer Gleason. She is from obviously the Gotham Gazette, but her first appearance was Batman the Animated Series, episode Heart of Ice. And then her first comic appearance was in Gotham Knights number 33 in 2002. So she's a relatively newer character to the Batman world. 92 with the animated series. So, but I thought it was really cool that they're just throwing these people, because like Summer Gleason, you're like, oh, I thought she may have lasted a little bit longer than she was going to, but it's fine.
Hey, we didn't see her die on camera, so there's still a chance.
Yeah,
Nice. That's true.
that is true.
Steve?
Mine are so dumb. They're such stretches. So one of the victims that Sofia names is Devery Blake. And I don't know if you know this, but JGL's character in The Dark Knight Rises is named John Blake. So maybe she's related to Robin. You looking at me with such disdain.
You don't even know what to say.
I think there are some like tangential drops that are so that are close, and it's like, oh, is that, But there's some like definite ones in this episode.
I know.
Before we get to the
I just wanted to do the dumb ones because I'm dumb.
no.
No.
Magpie is a DC villain character, a real one. She's a jewel thief, steals like bird related jewels and stuff. I swear to God,
It's a very small wheelhouse.
it is.
She gets maybe like 3 days of work a year.
There have been some
Stealing
other
bird jewels.
There have been some other. Well, it's like ones that are jewels that are named after birds, but she sets booby traps too, also bird related.
Are they blue-footed?
Yes, yes. But there's been some other live action magpies. There was one in Gotham, and one of the Arrowverse series is Batwoman, but a bunch of comic appearances of Magpie as well. Definitely low on the totem pole of the Rogues Gallery. She was famously Poison Ivy's cellmate in Arkham. So instead of Sophia Falcone's, but
I thought they were gonna. I think there's actually a Poison Ivy little tangential drop with her as well, because at a certain point she's like, we can go hang out in the gardens where all the plants are.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
well, then
There's
she's
no
like,
flowers there.
it's
but
more of
there's
a
birds. We can watch the birds.
yeah. It's before Poison Ivy got there and made the garden, maybe. But yeah, so Magpie's a real villain. That's pretty cool. What else you got there, Hatter?
All right, Dr. Ventress there's a character from Detective Comics, Floyd Ventress, aka Mirror Man. He came into Detective Comics number 213 in 1954, one of the close to the original villains of Detective Comics.
I love the way this guy looks in the old detective. He
Yes,
just
look
looks so like with his dumb little bow tie.
Mirror Man, yeah, look.
Yeah. That is problematic
Hold
for
your fort,
sure.
Robin.
He's
Going
sneaky.
after their boss.
The Mirror Man.
So,
Yeah, and then there's another like Lloyd Ventrix who was Mojo in Batman as well.
yeah, they had that. I like how they're doing this with the names in this show.
That's why I mean there's like a little bit of a approximation thing here. But Ventress, pretty clean of interest, you know. But the one I thought Steve would be proud of. Oh no, it's Steve's turn. He might get it.
I'm gonna disappoint you so hard. I'm just gonna throw this out. I don't even know what you're referring to.
Okay.
Just see what's your thing.
No, you do it.
Again, they dropped. I think Dr. Rush said something that she had gone to therapy prior to.
He's like
going
Rush,
to
like the band Rush.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but they did Tom Sawyer.
mean guy, aka Doctor of Interest.
At one point, they look in a mirror, and the mirror man. No. I don't even know where I was. Oh yeah, sorry. Before he mentioned that she went to a Dr. Shaw as a therapist beforehand, and there are several Shaws in Batman. There's Manhunter, I think, is Shaw, and then he has a brother named Jim Shaw who's he's one of the, I forget the guy's name, but he like lives forever. But I don't know, I just thought that was like an interesting little. I feel like that was a purposeful drop. Like,
yeah, like I said, the names are, if not exact, like, oh, that's the character. It's like it's supposed to make you think of that character, right?
Right.
The song that plays at the credits, as the credits first roll, is "Strange Little Girl," Sofia, by the Stranglers.
nice.
Oh, the girls are strangled. So
That's clever.
Awesome.
That's clever.
That is very clever.
that's the kind of egg Steve usually pulls. He's a music guy, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, Steve's gonna be proud of me.
It's been a busy week.
But I was like, that's neat.
I am proud of you, dude. That's really clever.
The Stranglers, get it? Mm-hmm. Anyway,
Strange little girl.
yeah. It's
Sofia.
and it's a cool song. Like it works really well.
It'd been funny if you're like strange little girl, Gia.
Yeah, nobody eats cake at that hour.
Yeah, it's weird.
You're gonna be up all night with nightmares. You have any other drops?
I mean, not really drops. It's just like I love how they brought in Detective Kinsey and showed him what he was doing prior to the Batman. And
To the drops.
yeah,
One of the other victims.
That's why when she confronted him in that bar, he was like, "Oh, hey,
What up?
long time no see."
One of the other victims, Yolanda Jones. Could that be the same surname as a certain Waylon Jones, also known as the Killer Croc?
Co-owner of the Wayland Yutani Corporation.
Yeah. Maybe she was like, "Dear Falcone, I'm setting up
Croc,
a
maybe.
space thing to find the Xenomorph. Can you help me?"
Could be.
enough of space to find a Xenomorph.
Teach you how to play recorder. Watch me. I'll do the fingering.
Ooh, watch me.
God damn it. Okay, let's move into our Kingpin nomination, or Pussy Boy.
Pussy boy.
If you're Mama Cobb. Our favorite performance of the episode. Is there any variation from Kristen Milioti? Is there any possible way to do that?
I don't.
I
How? It has to be her in this episode.
This is my third nomination for Kristen, I think.
We're all in multiple.
Out of
for
4?
her. Yeah.
This is
This has never happened before, where it's just dominated by 2 people, but really one, and I'm just being nice, and you got to throw Colin in there sometimes.
dude, she's
Incredible.
You're new to the show, but it's usually like 8 episodes. It's going to be 7 different people. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
The whole show is based around them too. But now with these latest episodes, she is taking the forefront of this show.
Yeah, there's no
Queen Ween.
Yes,
utter domination.
it is, and it is absolutely her.
So we're all
performance.
3 nominating Kristen Milioti, just to be clear.
We all, everybody.
Write that down.
We all, everybody.
Jot that down.
Yes, Queen Ween.
Okay. Kristen Milioti, domination. Cannot wait for next week for episode 5. I mean, I could watch it tonight. I might.
I might.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Hug it, chug it,
Taking the
football.
bucket.
Little Zach and Miri there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On the main feed, just a reminder, this Wednesday, you guys are going to get our live show performance. Let us
Boom.
know how that went. And then that same day on Patreon only, you'll get our Game of Thrones season 2 finale. There is going to be a week hiatus from our Game of Thrones coverage, but don't worry, patrons, don't unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Season 3.
You're going to get Dune.
Yeah,
2?
well, Dune Part 2 is going to be on there, but also season 3, Game of Thrones coverage will continue.
Yeah. I'm just out of town next week, and it's hard to do all that stuff. So.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
All that's coming though. I just wanted to say.
Yeah. Game of Thrones is coming back.
And then we get, let's see here.
Dune 2?
Four more episodes of Penguin, but then our Dune Prophecy coverage should start shortly thereafter. I think the week after Penguin ends is when it starts.
Have they announced when it
I thought it was November 15th, and it's like the week right after Penguin ends.
Oh, I hope. That would be so nice.
I think it's like that, man. It's the same network. So
15th is going to start on Friday?
it does.
Really?
It does. It's a Friday show.
It's not bad.
Friday shitey.
Yeah, everything when you pull it up, everything I see just
Says
still
November.
November. And
For some reason, I thought I verified for some reason, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
I mean, Google has been failing me a lot recently.
And then I think we're going to, after Dune Prophecy, go right into our Severance Season 1 rewatch, and that'll end with the debut, the debut, if you will, of Severance Season 2 in January. That's the plan.
Yeah.
I wanted to sneak some Arcane in there, but it's just God is trying to make that not happen.
God hates Arcane confirmed.
I love Arcane.
Arcane is so good.
You guys don't even know.
Arcane's great.
I just got the Steelbook.
I saw that.
Rare Netflix physical media release.
Yeah.
Have you watched Arcane League of Legends?
Not.
Arcane
on
Season
Netflix.
1 is incredible.
Okay, it's on Netflix.
Yeah. You watch animation, don't you? Obviously, right? Yeah. It's
I'm
gonna
a giant child. Yes.
It's going to fuck your
I
world
watch
up.
everything.
It's Haley Steinfeld, Ella Purnell. It's so fucking good, dude. I know it sounds dumb. Arcane League of Legends sounds like, okay. No, one of the best shows ever made.
This motherfucker was like telling me like, dude, you got to watch League of Legends Arcane. And I'm like, oh, what? No, hard pass. But then I finally watched it. And after like
3 episodes.
3 episodes in, I was like, I'm fucking in. This is amazing.
It's
I'm
ridiculous.
balls deep in Arcane.
Well, it's it's ridiculously good. Anyway, that's what's the short-term future of the show looks like. Hatter, thanks once again for driving out here to talk Peenween with us. Appreciate that so much.
Love it.
And everybody at home, thank you for listening. Hope you're enjoying the show. That's all the time we've got for right now. We've got to go return some videotapes. My name is Kit.
My name is Hatter.
And I'm Steve.
And this was Streaming Things, streaming the Penguin.
Happy streaming.